did the 6 years. You have to learn everything in Spanish. Your books are in Spanish. I mean, mama, if you don't learn it, dog
Yes.
nam your supper.
Yes.
Come back, get my paper, everything. Vet board looks at me and says, yeah, congratulations, but we do not accredit students who study vet med in Cuba.
Wow.
And I was like, what? My mother was with me. My mother bawled blood in the parking lot. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I'm a broke student. I
yes.
told them, thank you so very much for your time. And when I walk out into the parking lot, my mother bawled and she said, what are you going to do? She said, what are we going to do? And I mean, she was wiping her eyes and I'm like, I have absolutely no idea.
You are listening to Miss Kitty Live. Kitty Live. The pulse of the world. Miss Kitty, your fluffy diva.
Yes indeed, your Queen Diva here with DJ Calico, Mr. Straight Up. I gotta tell ya, wherever you are in the world, we've got you covered all day, every day. Log on, listen in, and please do remember to spread the word. It is Wire Wednesday. Wire you're ready. You know we're really different. You know we're to play with this around, put it in the time, okay? Good afternoon to Jeannie, baby. Hi, mama. Wagwan, grandma. Hi, mama. Hello. Me not tell a lie. Yes, when the big one them love me, I just love them. When my 80-year-old fans them, my 90-year-old fans them. Listen, yeah. I remember there was this lady. She called me. Her grandmother was in the hospital. And she said, Miss Kitty, my grandmother just has to hear your show. And every time she hears your voice, even in her hospital bed, she smile. Listen to me. I say my ball like a runaway slave with them catch and beat when the lady tell me. Me just a ball, so. Me just a ball. Like a runaway slave, or them catch and a beat. Because, you know, sometimes you're behind this microphone and you're unaware of the lives that you're impacting or the people that you're enriching. And oftentimes, Calico, you know, the people who love you and are in your corner, who appreciate you, they don't really, they're not vocal, you understand? Yeah, and sometimes the haters' voices can overshadow the care, the love, the respect, and the honor that people have for you. You know what I mean? So when people like, Genie baby good as, yeah, send out, I say Miss Kitty. You know me if I said Genie baby right through, right there, so she, good afternoon to you. You know what I mean? And to all the senior citizens who lock and load to my show, I sincerely appreciate your patronage. Thank you so much for lending me your ear and tuning in right here to Miss Kitty Live, okay? It is that time of the afternoon when I'm going to thump Terry in our neck, right? Yes, because beauty queen, veterinarian, doctor, history maker, TEDx speaker, good mother, good girl, clean skin, no cocoa bed, no dog bite, no grenade. When girl good, and when girl great. Like Tony the Tiger, man, ask you. The man them cornflakes, the man them frosted flakes, the man them ventilator. Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid in the building. A round of applause and a wonderful welcome. What up, baby?
No one go la 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 la.
Blank, ma'am.
What an introduction.
Hello.
Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day.
True.
Happy New Year.
True.
All of the good things. Abundance, prosperity. Yeah.
Yeah. And right back at you, Terry.
Thank you,
Thank
Mama.
you so very much.
Thank you.
And on that note, let me big up Tashai Nails, you know. Yes. We got to big up D, you know. Big ups Lady Simone. Yes. And I got to tell you.
Those are my girls.
Yes, absolutely. And Mishika. Yes, right there. Terry, how are you?
I am blessed.
Yeah.
And highly favored.
Do you know that I love you, like in real life?
I know. And every single time we see I don't even think people understand how much love and respect we have for each other. And whenever one of us doing something, like we literally reach out, yo, want you, you know, queen.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it.
listen, I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but we met some years ago when I think we were staying at a hotel in Mobay, and you were there with your mommy from them time days. Yeah, so I know today. I know yesterday. You were there with your mommy, and I want to big up your wonderful mom.
Yeah, man.
She's such a stellar
My
human
ride or
being.
die. My ride or die.
Yeah, she was there with you, and I think I was like in the room next door or something like that, and we were there together. And so from that time, a bond was forged, inadvertently, really, and unwittingly, unknowingly, and it has grown
it's
and
just
developed.
A respect and
you know
a
what
love.
I mean?
No,
and
for
so
sure.
I just want to tell you to your face, in your face, because you know, I'm gonna chat behind your people back. No, my back, broad Kel, come, I don't have to chat people. Them. Me's a girl, just start my talk. As long as gunman not involved in them, you understand? Because if gun people is involved, I don't have anything to say. I said, nerp. I just go, buenos dias, como estas. I don't speak English. Don't speak English. Yes, I don't know. Bonjour. Yeah, right? But I really appreciate and love and admire what you have carved out, what you have done, how you have overcome the odds, how you have redirected your life, how you have not allowed obstacles to define you, but you have risen to the occasion and continue to rise.
Goosebumps.
Me not lie, your mother supposed to love you and proud of your bad.
And you know what's funny? You mentioned mommy, like she will see me going through these different stages and phases, and she will cry.
Yeah.
She will leave me voice notes,
Yeah.
and she'll start off normal,
mother.
and then all of a sudden she's just like, from the time I've had you, you've never made me, bawl tears of disappointment
yeah.
or sadness. She's just like, I'm so proud of you each and every single time. And so that feels good. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
And I think I've always said to myself, I never want my mother to hang her
Amen.
head
In shame. Yeah.
She's invested a lot in me. My grandmother, we're 4th generation in terms of girls.
Yes.
And I see them work hard and sacrifice a lot. And I say, you know what? I have a home, I head up high, and I have to be a reflection of the work that they put into me and everything that they poured into me.
Absolutely.
And so that is what people see every single day. It is the foundation and what they poured into me as a child that never left me.
Yes.
No matter what going on, no matter what people have to say, no matter people's perception, like that's not my business.
Yes.
I know what I'm about. I'm going to step in it.
Absolutely.
Unapologetically.
You are a brand ambassador for your bloodline.
Jeez,
and I definitely want to just big you up for that.
Thank you,
And, it's such a great feeling, to be able to continue that torch, that legacy that your parents, when you see your parents sacrifice for you and go hard for you, you can go hard for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me also say thank you for sitting and holding the fort for me when I was ill.
I mean, win,
Are you win?
I mean, win,
Oh, they win, Calicut. Me no know.
I mean, win,
Oh, Calicut never there took a bit 2 hours.
I mean, win.
Oh, okay.
Tajna might not want to say nothing because, the two of we are friends.
Yeah.
But everybody say,
Yeah, are you win?
I mean, when the song clash.
From Dr. Sarah.
All right. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. All right. Well, you are both winners and you're both beautiful. So thank you so much. But Terry, a lot of people see you now. You're a host. You are influencer. You are, TEDx speaker. You have accomplished so much.
Yeah.
But let's go back in time to your childhood. Where you grew up, in which community?
Portmore.
Yeah.
Portmore, Bridgeport, St. Catherine, 27 years of my life. And sometimes I even remember when I entered Miss Jamaica World and I had put down Portmore, St. Catherine, and there were persons who were like, no, it's better you put St. Andrew, or it's better you put Kingston. And I'm like, no, I come from Portmore.
Yeah.
Portmore, St. Catherine.
Wow.
Portmore for sure.
The Sunshine City.
The Sunshine City. And it's funny that on my avenue, I think my grandma's house was the first. This is before Portmore have all of this,
Mega Mart and the whole pass up them.
Yeah, man, the whole heap of supermarket. No. We were like one little tuck shop. Your grandma would send you out to the corner shop. You go across, you get your money, you come right back. Hers was like one of the first homes in that area. And
Yes.
that is what I knew for 27 years of my life. Tech bus. Go St. Andrew Prep, Tech Bus, go Campion College, Tech Bus. That is what I knew.
Yes, and in terms of morals and values, what have you been taught over the years that have guided you and been your guiding principles that has made you the formidable young woman that you are now?
I think my grandmother taught me this from a very young age, and what she said to me was, you can run from a thief, but you can't run from a lion. And the one thing that you must protect all the time is your good name.
Yeah.
She says a lot of us will come into this world and we will attain riches and fortune and material things and maybe even a whole heap of friend and all of this. But she said, let me tell you something. You lose all of them, but do not lose your good name. And
Yeah.
she stamped that in me from the time I was attending maybe St. Andrew Prep School.
Yes.
And that has never left me. So if I'm going to do something, I think about it twice.
Yeah.
Yo, if I do this, who will it affect?
Yes.
How could it possibly come back? Are there any pros? Are there the cons? Are the pros better than the cons? I weigh everything simply because I can only protect
Your name.
my name.
Yes.
And we understand that, when you lose your good name or when someone tries to tarnish it, it's like feathers in the wind.
Yes.
And even if somebody tries to go back and collect all the feathers, you can't
It's
because
there.
it's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that was one. Grandma says, speak the truth and speak it ever and call it what it will. A lot of persons don't like to hear the truth
Yes.
sometimes because it forces us to confront a lot of problems, a lot of demons, a lot of
Yeah.
social, your own inner problems. My grandmother said, listen, speak the truth. Speak it ever. cause it what it will.
Yes.
If people respect you for it, then fine. If they don't, at least you will go home, you
Yes.
put your head on your pillow, and you will
Yes.
sleep comfortably knowing that you spoke the truth.
You
And I
spoke
think
your
those
truth.
are the two things that I rock with and I roll with. And I think the third one she taught me, not everybody going to like you.
Amen.
She taught me that at St. Andrew Prep when I ran home crying one day and I just couldn't understand because the girls who were closest to me were speaking about me in the bathroom. And it hurt my heart.
Yeah.
And I went home and I cried and I just said, I don't understand. I don't do anything to them. Like I love these girls.
Yeah.
And she said, baby girl, I think I must have been maybe 9 or 10 at the time. She said, let me tell you something. She said, you don't have to do things to some people for them not to like you.
True.
And even if you do everything right, and even if you are like the perfect friend to them, it will not stop people from not liking you. So what you have to understand is not everybody's going to like you. And guess what? That is okay.
Yeah.
What you mustn't do now is try to fit and fix and change and twist for this person to like you, because then somebody else not going to like you over here. Then you're going to try to fix and twist. And so she said, just do right. Do not do any harm.
Yes.
And just go through.
And
I
do
think
you.
that for sure was the anchor in terms of what you see every day that I do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Nationwide 90 FM, Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid, my very special guest right here on Miss Kitty Live. Wire Wednesday, and we're wiring your radio, reality radio at its finest. None other than Terri-Karelle, my love, TEDx, mama, not TEDZ minus. TEDx, the TEDx, baby, not teddy bear, but TEDx. But before we even get to TEDx and that historical feat that you did, talk to me a little bit about it. You went to St. Andrew Prep.
Yes.
You went to Campion.
Yes.
And you graduated, and then you wanted to become a veterinarian.
Yeah, man. Even
Why?
while I was in Campion College, them call me Dr. Doolittle, and
Yeah.
I was known as the girl who have the whole heap of stray animal everywhere I walk. But me did have 26 animals.
26?
In a Portmore, say we don't have no farm.
Oh my God.
From bird to fish to goat to look at DJ Calico. Look at your mouth open. Close your mouth, man. Close it up.
Might not fly it out. 26 animals, Terri?
26 animals. And if I find a little dog on the road and I bring it home, mommy said, Jesus, all right, go on. And if I find a little cat, I say, all right, come. And let me tell you something, puss, dog, pig, goat, everything. And I mean, even in sixth form, the goat did name out the front of my head. But we're not going to talk about that. Right? We're not even going to.
No, curry goat right away. You name out my head. Watch this.
Let me tell you.
Watch a style, yeah.
Listen, I remember.
Watch a style, yeah.
I remember
Hurry up.
walking into sixth form, and those of my fellow campionites who were in sixth form at the time will tell you I fall asleep on my veranda, and my head was, by the grill, and all I know is that I feel too pull, and when I look, the Faith that with my
The Faith.
hair, her name was Faith. She ran off with the front part of my hair
You know,
in
say
her
that
mouth.
I do
Let me
like
tell you.
that You have a little Caucasian somewhere.
It's a little something. Listen.
So Faith name out your head side,
She
Terri.
named out my head side, and they laughed about it. And even when
So you do it, Faith, Terri.
I never do nothing, What I'll tell you is I got my scholarship, went to
Cuba.
got to Cuba, and when I came home one Christmas or one summer, I never see Faith, And I look at my grandmother and I say, Grandma, where's Faith? Listen.
Now what about Calico? Faith made her faith. I gotta tell you. Cause I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.
And that's what my friends used to sing and tell me all the time, gotta have faith.
Yeah.
But that was my love.
Yeah.
And so at a very young age, I was always fixing animals. I had my tweezer. I didn't even know what it was. I was National Geographic, and I said, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
Nothing else. Volunteered at the Jamaica Society of Prevention for Cruelty to Animals, and I'm really moving and trying to be intentional about this career that I want for myself.
Yes.
I get the scholarship. One of 2 Jamaicans who get the scholarship in that year, 2000, to go to Cuba. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on the road. Came back, did the 6 years. You have to learn everything in Spanish. Your books are in Spanish. I mean, mama, if you don't learn it,
Yes.
damn your supper.
Yes.
Come back, get my paper, everything. Vet board looks at me and says, yeah, congratulations, but we do not accredit students who study vet med in Cuba.
Wow.
And I was like, what? My mother was with me. My mother bawled blood in the parking lot. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I'm a broke student. As
Yeah.
all of us know, when you graduate, no, you
Yeah.
you want start earn, I
Yes,
said, so
yes.
Can I say the exam? No, you either have to go Trinidad or you have to go Alabama, Tuskegee University. And I said, well, will I get another scholarship? Because that's the whole reason why I went to Cuba in the first place.
Yes.
And them said, boy, we can't promise you that. And plus, you've already benefited. So chances are you wouldn't.
You won't get a second one. Yes.
I told them, thank you so very much for your time. And when I walk out into the parking lot, my mother bawled and she said, what are you going to do? Because you didn't do POA, you never do POB, you never do typing, you never do any fallback.
Science
Because
subjects.
as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Doolittle to my thing.
Yes.
She said, what are we going to do? And I mean, she was wiping her eyes, and I'm like, I have absolutely no idea. This time you don't know about branding, you don't know about public speaking.
Yes.
You don't know nothing about that.
Yes.
And I just said, I don't know, but I don't think the God that I serve is going to bring me this far.
Yes.
Carry me across to Cuba, learn a language, and come back to just drop me so.
Yes.
I don't have the answers now, but there was a piece, and I was like, I'll be okay.
Yes.
I can't even explain it to you, but that is how I felt at the time. And I have not looked back
Ever since, yes.
So sometimes we say, man, a plan. And sometimes we feel we have a dream for ourselves that is the biggest dream ever. And sometimes God have to wipe it because what He, I think, has over your life.
Yes, your
the
will,
grace
God,
and
your
the
will.
favor is so much larger than we
Yes.
could ever imagine.
True.
So I just obedient to the Spirit.
Yes.
And wherever He led me and whichever door, whichever little window Him decide for open, I step through and I say, I'm going to apply myself. And
Yes.
I
And
am
here
now-
you are
and
now.
here I am
The
now.
formidable woman that you are
Oh,
now.
gosh, I receive
the
it.
journey has been long, but it has been fruitful.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about what has been the most disappointing experience throughout the journey, because oftentimes people will see the finished product and they think it's a walk in the park. They see your glory, they don't know your story. What would you say has been the most disappointing moment after getting that news about the whole veterinary thing and, just on your sojourn now to become who you are? The lesson that has taught you the most and that has been most disappointing.
I think the lesson that I have learned is you can only control the controllable.
Yes.
I think, even when we go through school and even our friends and family and communities to a certain extent, they encourage this fixed mindset where you have to get this, you work towards this, and if this doesn't happen, you're a failure.
Yeah.
And we all have that anxiety because, this is what we define ourselves based on what we went to school to study and our career. And the question is, well, are you actually practicing in the career that you study? And for me, I think one of the biggest lessons I learned is that life is life is life.
Yes.
And we cannot control life at any point in time. The most we can do is learn from it, adjust, adapt, and do what is necessary for you to get to the next level.
Yes.
And you have to be open. So if you're going to tell yourself, I'm a failure, and well, that's what you will be.
Yes.
You kind of have to get rid of all of those labels. You have to be humble enough to start from scratch.
Yes.
To start from a place where you have to humble yourself and learn from other people, especially if you're stepping into areas you're not already qualified for.
Yes.
The most disappointing thing that I've learned throughout the journey, however, is that as much as people and companies and businesses speak about empowering women and, supporting small businesses and all of that, I think when it comes to setting your price and, doing a service and saying, well, I've worked very hard and this is what my cost is or this is what my rate is, a lot of the times people really try to make you feel like
You're overpriced. You're too expensive.
You're not that much.
Yeah.
You're
You're
not
too
that much.
expensive. Your price high.
Yeah,
I
and-
said, well, you don't want my price. No higher, no. Value I did. Value I did. No come for my Range Rover with a Nissan Tina budget. Don't call my phone. Don't call. Calico straight up. They know me. I don't play. Period. I know what I'm about. I know what I bring. I know who I am. And what is hurtful sometimes is that the same persons will put away a mint of money for people from overseas who can't even walk in their yard slippers and they don't even blink or bat an eyelash when they ask for what they ask
but
for.
even if you don't even go abroad, when you think about what some budgets are for sometimes the programs or what they get catered or,
Yes.
and what is even worse is when people can actually tell you back the value that you bring
Yes.
but they still be like no.
Yeah.
I think that's the most disappointing because I think until we get out of that mentality where we want ball down everybody, like just see people for what they're valued.
Yeah.
and just pay people. And if you can't, then it's better.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's better you just go about it. But a lot of the times, it can be a lot more offensive.
Yes.
When you approach someone almost devaluing them before you even start having that conversation. I
True.
think that's probably one of the most disappointing things I've seen.
Very well. We're talking to Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid, my very special guest right here at TEDx, baby. Oh, God, I just like saying that. I got to tell you, it's such a big deal. Terri-Karelle is a big deal. Yeah. Because she's very important. For real. Terri-Karelle is a big deal. Yes, baby, she's
That's
a
gonna
big
be my
deal.
ringtone, by the way. That's my ringtone.
Yeah, she's very important. For real. I got to tell you. Yeah, see the press for details. Conditions apply. Yes, Terry Goodaz. So you got Miss World. Oh, the Miss after the whole veterinary debacle. You decided to go Miss World.
Miss World actually came in my penultimate year. So it's while I was at Cuba.
Cuba, you did that.
Come home summer. I always come home in the summer. We come home later than everyone else. You can't hold on a summer job. And for 3 years straight, there was this personal trainer at Spartan who used to see me in Portmore and say, I think you should enter. And I'm just like, what is this guy talking about? This time, I'm full tomboy, hair a fly. I don't care about nothing. I just want to come home, get a little summer job, turn over some money to head back to Cuba. And in the 3rd year, I just said, you know what? Why not? And my mother and I jumped on a bus and we went the final day to sign up. And that was it.
Yes, and the rest, as they say, is history.
The rest is history. Showed up at the Jamaica Pegasus, and there were like maybe 100 beautiful girls. When the elevator opened, and I see the girl in with them make. This time I don't know no more make. Lord Jesus, no makeup, my hair no comb, cause this is just new to me. And I open when I see the elevators open, and I see these beautiful women. I said, Jaja. I said, what am I? What am I doing? What was I thinking? And they said they were only looking for 16. Girls,
yes.
And before, we had to do the audition. By the time they had called the 16 girls, I was contestant number 14.
Contestant number 14.
Terri-Karelle.
14. Yes.
Yeah, man. And I mean, at the time, I didn't have any expectations. I didn't go in saying, me I go win. But I've always just been open to all the kinds of experiences. Even if I don't win, what can I gain that will let me leave here in a better place than I was when I first came?
And tell me, what did you leave the pageant with? Because, as outsiders, we often hear about the catty part and the competitive divisiveness that can happen at pageants. But what did you leave with?
Let me tell you something. I say to this day that the girls in my year were amazing. There's some of us who are still friends to this day.
Very well.
And it just goes to show that it's not always what people think it is. I do understand that some girls may come in not as mature as others. It's a learning process for a lot of people, and it is a competition. But my year was absolutely beautiful. We were very, very supportive, and I just remember leaving that competition saying, especially to persons who thought I should have changed my afro. I should have straightened my hair. There were people who really thought I was gonna shoot myself in the foot because I insisted on
your afro,
on my afro.
Yes, and that was a big deal for a lot of people, Terry, because otherwise, there is the quote unquote look, the model look, that statuesque long hair look that is accepted, and you went against the grain. Why?
I think it goes back to the foundation. I mean, I remember even packing my things the night before, because I'm going back to Cuba, right? Yeah. And I remember packing my things the night before with my mom in the living room, because I was just like, well, if this is the look that they want, and I know I'm not going to give them that look, then there's a chance that clearly I won't win and I'll just go home. So let me just start packing up my things right now. But I think what it is that it's just the foundation. I loved who I was. Yes. I loved what I represented. I loved my hair, and I did not think that by changing that, it would have put me at a disadvantage. I think, by keeping it, it would have put me at a disadvantage. I wanted to go out, and if I lose on my own terms. Yeah. If I lose, I saw it go. It just means that maybe I was not fit or suited for this particular thing. But I felt good that that's what I did. And when I went abroad, the people them come back and them say, well, so you could have done the afro for Jamaica, because Jamaica black, and but you can't do it against Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. You have to go to something against Miss Philippines and Miss China, and they're just like, yo, so what you gonna do? And me I say, yo, me go wash it and me go condition it. Me go keep it moving and it's gonna fluff out same way.
Yes.
And what would happen in that year is that I'll be one of the most photographed, even in their newspapers.
Yes.
And I remember ending up
Because you
on
stood out.
ended up on asianbeauties.com, and I was just like, oh, I must end up on asianbeauties.com. And if you look on my face and you look on my ear, you know, say, me I'm not Asian.
Yes.
And what the photographer said, and he had a translator, he said wherever he looked in the sea of women, he could identify Miss Jamaica.
Yes.
So sometimes people, and you have to forgive them because they're well-intentioned. I think a lot of people sometimes when they give unsolicited advice, it's not that all of them mean to be malicious.
Yeah.
I think some of them are coming from a place that they only know. And so they can only speak of that which they know.
Yes.
Beyond that, they can't. And so for years they saw this, so they're saying, this is it.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to be the person to...
The game changer.
You have to be the game changer.
Yeah.
And you have to be brave enough to either to go work or not going to work,
Yes.
but you have to be okay with the decision that you make.
Yeah.
And I was happy with it.
Beautiful. Have you ever watched back? Do you watch back yourself?
No.
You know, like, let me see how I did walk. Let me see how I look. Let me see the dress. Let me see what I said. You know, yeah, answer the question. Oh my God, the questions.
Every now and then I get tagged. Like I
Yeah.
think because there is a part of my online community that does not even know I was a former Miss Jamaica World.
Yes.
But only when they go Googling me or maybe on YouTube, they'll now see old videos.
Yes.
And I will see videos of interviews or even the question that I got at Miss World. And I'm like, yo.
Do you remember what question that was?
Absolutely not.
Okay, very well. Me neither.
Absolutely not.
Alex, you remember? Calico? I don't remember.
I don't remember but I remember, you know, being a little bit sad because there was this family night before the pageant and your family and your friends come in, so nobody's allowed to be there with you for the month that you're there. No chaperone, no nothing. You're out there to sink or swim. But then you have family night on the Thursday where girls, their family, their chaperones, and well, my mother couldn't afford to come. No one came in my year. My franchise holder wasn't there. So imagine you're walking through the hotels, the lobby areas, you see thousands of people for Philippines and you have Puerto Rico. I mean, these people have fans that travel all over the world.
Yes.
And so on the night you step out on that stage and you see fans with flags and you're just like, wow. You know, you look for the flag because you hope that there'll be one
man against
and
the
this was
world.
China. This
Yeah.
was China.
Yes.
And when they were calling out the top 15 and they said the people's public vote for the Caribbean is... And they said, Miss Jamaica, I realized, whoa, I'm just made top 15, which means that they're going to ask me a question. But what I remembered was looking left and right and seeing the Jamaican flag,
Yes.
you know, flank me. And it's a strength that you get. I can't even describe it, but there's a pride where even if you know people not there in the audience, you kind of just know that them dead it.
Yes.
They're there with you.
Yeah, the
and I
flag is
think-
there covering you.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And whenever I see my flag, there's a pride.
Yes.
Because there's no other flag that even remotely comes close
Yes.
to my flag.
Yes.
And that's probably one of the moments that I will never forget.
Yes. Poignant.
No.
So when you talk about family, Terry, where's Daddy? I don't hear you talk about Daddy.
No, I grew up with my mom. So
Yeah.
I grew up in a single family
Yes.
home, but I'm
Is your daddy
actually-
alive? Is he
Yeah,
around?
man. He's alive. I don't know if he's still a Rasta, you know, because he was a Rasta, him have
Eh?
locks and thing, but I think he cut him locks. But I'm very close to the family.
Okay.
So it was even when I hit high school in Campion College, you know, there was a rough financial period that we went through.
Yes.
And it was my grandfather on my father's side who stepped in
Yes.
and said, she will be okay.
Yes.
She will not want for anything.
Yes.
And so I'm very close to my father's side of the family, even though he and I don't have like a daddy-daughter
Yes.
relationship, but the families
Yes.
know each other and we get along.
What does he think about what you've accomplished? Has he
have
ever
no
said
idea.
anything?
I have no idea. I do know though that his mother, my grandma Olive, who lives in Barbados, my grandparents live in Barbados. She always WhatsApps me and she calls me for my birthday and everything, and she'll tell me, you know, I spoke to your father, you know, and I wished him happy birthday on your behalf. Happy birthday on your behalf.
Yeah.
And I wished him happy Father's Day on your behalf. And I'm like, thanks, Grams. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
But she feeds from what my mom tells me, because everybody talks.
Yes.
She feeds a lot of what I do to him.
Yes.
But we don't have a relationship.
Okay, very well. We're talking to Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid. We're getting to Terri business and Terri life and all what Terri had done accomplished. We want to know when Terry sleep at night because Chubai. Terry's very busy here, there, and everywhere. The social butterfly or Jamaican girl. I gotta know, when does she sleep? What does she like to eat? The jack of all trades, and trust me, Garfiend's sidekick. Yes, Feeny. Good afternoon. You're listening to Miss Kitty Live. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back right here on Team Revolution, revolutionizing how you listen to and love afternoon radio. Yeah, baby, we're always live broadcasting from 6 Bradley Avenue right here in Kingston, Jamaica. Wherever you are in the world, I've got you covered all day, every day. All you have to do is log on, listen in, and please do remember to spread the word. Your one-stop edutainment afternoon show. And if you're not there, so you're not there, nowhere in the world. You understand? True. So you just have to do right here.
Facts.
Right up here. Big facts with the big Dr. Terri-Karelle. My light girl with the hair in front of them. But I also like them somebody. Me like them somebody. Me like bright girl. Me like girl accomplished. I like it. And you know,
always say beauty and brains, yeah.
Terry, listen, yeah.
For years.
I was talking to Tashai last night. And I was saying to myself, you know, she was actually saying, boy, you know, Katz, you know, you've been motivating and inspiring even long before it was a tag word or a buzzword rather, sorry. You know, and we've been motivating and doing so long time because Terry, when you're real to the thing, you're real to the thing. And I think that is one of the attributes that you also have that resonate with people, the genuinity, the place of authenticity. We're just being ourselves. And if you like we will like you. And as for me and my house, if you don't like me, I me never like you first. You know me eat on the shadow. Yeah, because me never like you first. I like Alex too, yeah. So, you know, so you've been doing a lot and definitely growing and soaring. And you have definitely, you know, been redirected and you have taken the redirection well. And what I love about you as an example is life doesn't always go how you plan it. But once you have planned, you can always execute something else. You know what I mean? And once your foundation is firm and once you have put in the work, you can always pivot and adapt and do what is best and what is next.
Absolutely.
You know? So you have to be that transitive mode
Absolutely.
At all times. Now, you went to...
And that sometimes, and to add to that, and sometimes that means that you have to take on small roles.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times it's ego that gets in the way,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
So a lot of the times you don't, you know, life hits you and you say, Channel Star, but me get the bachelor's, I'm have the degree, I'm have the master's, I'm have the PhD, so I'm supposed to get this. And what I'm saying is sometimes life says, nah.
True.
And door gets slammed.
True.
And sometimes it means that we have to accept small roles.
Yes.
Small titles.
Yes.
Small jobs.
Yes.
Small money.
Yes.
And work.
And all free.
And some
And sometimes
gosh,
free.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
yes. Because sometimes there is a process
Yes.
that you're not ready for
Yes,
just
you
yet.
have to ferment.
Sometimes you have to marinate.
Yeah, marinate,
And you
yes.
have to ferment.
Yes.
And there's certain things that you learn in
Yes.
those small jobs. And
Yes.
some of the biggest life lessons that I learned is not at this level.
Yes.
I'm not at my peak yet. It was in the jobs that you said, Channel Star.
Yes.
It's hard, you know, but you learn how to be resourceful. You learn how to be
Yes.
creative. You learn how to be
Turn your
adaptive.
hand, make fashion.
You turn your hand, make fashion. And there's certain hidden potential that you have within you that only comes out in terms of your resilience when your back is against
Yes.
the wall.
And when you're challenged.
And when you're challenged, and you have
Yes.
to figure things out. And what I tell people is if you cannot honor those small tasks,
Yes.
small roles and responsibilities, how can you want to now get the big ones?
Yeah, but you're not going to appreciate it when you get there because
Come
you
on.
didn't do the journey.
Come
You
on.
didn't go through the process. You know
have
what I
to-
mean?
yeah,
So the
and-
clothes now, the dirty clothes now get clean if you don't wash it.
You have
It's
to
not
know to
gonna
wash it
happen.
first, you know.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And when you have, and that's why it's like people will say, you buy a vehicle, right, Calico? And then we say, like somebody who never buy a car yet or never sacrifice to buy a house yet or nothing. You can't go over your house, see? You can't go over your carry. Yes, miss, I've gone over it because I know the
I know
sacrifice
what
I'm
it
take
took.
for get here. I never walk and pick it up. Remember when I eat in mackerel right through.
Yeah.
When I have to drive past KFC and cock my nose because I couldn't buy a big deal. So I have a different respect for where I am
Absolutely.
now because I
Absolutely.
have worked for it. I have
Absolutely.
sacrificed for it and I deserve to be here. So when you work and you sacrifice and you go through your travel and you go through the valley of the shadow of death, when you reach on the top of the mountain, you can appreciate the valley experience.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because it was not handed to you on a platter.
Work for that.
So talk to me about being a mommy, because
gosh.
that's one of your, I think,
Oh,
the
gosh.
highlights. Naima, hey, talk to me about your bundle of joy.
Oh my goodness.
And how she
Nai.
has impacted your life.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think even us saying TEDx. I mean, it's amazing how the very things that you gave no thought to,
Yes.
that at some point in time you did not even accept. Sometime what the Bible said, the stone that the builder did reject
refused,
and
turned the head
refused, turned the head
cornerstone.
cornerstone. You know, I remember when I conceived. I remember the moment when I found out that I had conceived. And you know, there's this preconceived notion that women who find out that they're pregnant are just all, oh my God, this is all I wanted this. And you know, there are many of us who actually aren't in that
Yes,
in that
happy
state.
place.
We are some of us are confused.
Yes,
We do not think we
petrified.
are ready. We are
Yes,
petrified. We
yes.
are terrified. We don't know what is this going to be like. You know, what's going to happen.
What does this mean?
What does this
Yeah.
mean? And I think it's something that we probably do need to speak about in the space, because that was me. I married, yes, but the motherhood part, I hadn't come to terms yet about stepping into the role of mother
Yeah.
at 30.
Yeah.
And so I think for the first 2 trimesters, I just pretended like it just wasn't happening. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't there, you know. Like, I'm going to the doctor. Yeah, she's showing me, hey, look at the ultrasound. And I'm like, yeah. Then the last trimester comes and then it hits me. Wow, you're going to be a
My
mom.
mother, yeah.
You are now responsible for this person you're going to bring into this world that is going to give her so many messages, and you are going to have to try to water this plant as best as possible with the hopes that it will bear good fruit.
Yeah.
And she came and my life changed.
Yeah.
Because I think I realized that, all right, I'm going to have to do this parenting thing on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to allow people to dictate, which I think is something very, very important for anyone who becomes a mom. And we're just going to have to learn and grow in the process.
Yeah.
So the whole thing for me was not to be a perfect mom, but to try to be the perfect mom for her.
Yes.
So whatever she needed and whatever role and gap I needed to fill, then I would do that. And I think that's probably the biggest growth, personal growth that I've had.
So talk
in
to
my
us
life.
now about how, I mean, you know, you've introduced her to us via Facebook,
Yeah.
social media platform, where we see the interaction. I'm going to see the act them where you make, and some of them boy Terry can make things do. When you make the volcano, some of them hear me, Jesus. Me forgot to do them something. Father God, you see me, and the volcano go blow up in my face, because me can't build nothing. And but that's every time I see Terry, I do the
Project.
and the project, no, I'm
Project
there
wanna
with
kill
you.
you.
Listen, I'm there with the tie, I'm there with the socks, I'm there with you, I'm there. And every time I see it, I say, God, this is it.
Project would have kill you.
Project with a hello, twist your tribe. I see it. Sometimes you're tired. I'm still tired, you know.
No, man, you're tired.
And you go through it.
Or you know how it is.
Yes.
We work a full day and everything, but when you come home, and I tell people all the time, motherhood is a 24-hour job.
Yes.
What we do in terms of the profession of the career, that is actually a part-time job. You know.
Yes.
But when you go home at the end of the day, she's gonna want to know
Yeah,
about
you still
my
have to
day,
have
I
that
have to know
energy.
about her day,
Yeah.
and it rough, but
Yeah.
you have to do it.
Yeah, but that also led to your sharing her with us and your
Yeah.
interaction. And what I love about it is the other side of motherhood, because
Yeah.
it just isn't always, oh my God, hunky dory and happy and
Absolutely
joy.
not.
And I want women, when I watch it, and I that's why I speak how I speak, in terms of I'm not yet a mother,
Yeah.
but I want women to know that you don't have to be happy all the time or feel good all the time. You're
That's
a human
unnatural.
being,
That's
and
absolutely
and it's
unnatural.
unnatural, right? And when I see you though with your interaction with her, she has grown up literally before our very
Yes,
eyes,
yes.
and I'm so proud of her and our
Thank
achievements that
you.
you share. And thank
Thank
you
you.
for sharing with us. And that now opened the vista for TEDx to ask you to be a speaker. And that in and
Blew my
of
mind.
itself was a historic moment, because you were the first Jamaican
female in that particular territory
Yeah.
for TEDx Aston
for
University.
TEDx. Tell us about TEDx. What was that? Well, let me take this time signal to catch a little breath. TEDx. I got big up there, mix. God, but not forgot the TEDx really. Yeah, girl, TEDx. So they
It's
called
like you couldn't wait for the 4:45 and jump right back into the conversation.
No, girl, my interest. So yes.
No, well, what I'll say, because that was a perfect segue, what I will try to interject right here and say is that a lot of the times when we are doing things in just our natural, organic, authentic way,
Yes.
it opens doors.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we go out of our way to force an issue and to force a thing and to force an image, and you wonder why
It not connect.
It not connect. It
Kind
not work.
don't
It just
real.
start. It not. And so I just started having my conversation. We call it Car Chronicles with TK and Nike. Because I realized that in the car when we're coming from school, I'd ask her, how was your day? Or how, and then that is when questions start
Yes.
coming. So I'd just sit down in the car. Sometimes we don't just run straight inside.
Yeah.
We just we sit down in the car and I say, well, okay, you asked me this question, XYZ. But then I realized the type of conversations I was having with her were not necessarily conversations I had with my mom and my gram.
Yeah.
They did a good job with me, but these conversations, like, they weren't telling me about period and menstruation and something.
Yes.
And here it is, I'm sitting on in my car with my 3-year-old daughter, simply talking to her about, simple things.
Yes.
So I get this email from TEDx Aston University inviting me to be a speaker. And the first thing we do is look for see if it's a scam.
Yes.
Because as far as I'm concerned, the scammer them there.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, I consume hours of TED Talks and TEDx Talks, and you admire these experts in their niche and their industry, and they're challenging your perspectives and your life views. And I'm sitting on here saying, so of the billions of people in the world, and even if we come down to Jamaica and the diaspora, we're looking at, maybe 7 million people. You then narrowed it down all the way to this little girl,
Jamaican girl.
this little Jamaican girl.
Yes.
And you're inviting her. And it's the first time you're looking outside for international speakers and you drop right, yes, sir? And they say, yeah, man, the theme is untapped. Would you like us to talk? And I'm like, sure. Because I me say, open opportunities. Be open for them, right?
Yes. Well, let me just give you a round of applause and let us just all marinate in that and bask in your wonderful glory and your achievement. And because sometimes, the things that might happen in our life, I would just gloss over them.
Yeah.
But I want it soak,
Yeah.
Because if Terri-Karelle from Bridgeport over Portmore
Yeah.
can be at TEDx Aston University, it means for other little girls and other little boys who are dreaming that it is possible.
I hear that.
Because you have created and opened that immutable path.
I hear that.
Very well.
I hear that, and I appreciate that because it is true. You're so busy going that we don't always get to stop and celebrate our victory. So I meet with them and they say, the theme is untapped, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be them asking me about my journey from veterinarian to media personality, and they were like, no. They're like, that's a very good story, but they were like, there's something else that you do that we want you to hone in on, and it was my daughter.
Yes.
And I said, what? Because this is not something that I'm being intentional in terms of posting every Thursday or, these are just videos I upload whenever I feel like it. And they said, no, the kinds of conversations you're having with your daughter now, especially during a pandemic, there are a lot of parents who are probably trying to figure out
how to broach these topics.
The children are at home, these topics are coming up, maybe they're not. How do they even handle it? And we see you in the space having conversations with her that typically is not happening because of race, religion, territory, depending on where you live.
Yes.
And they were like, so we would like you to speak about untapped conversations with
kids. Yes.
And I was like, what?
Well, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
The presentation. It's on YouTube now.
I got published, I think, 10 days ago. I didn't even know.
Yes.
So here's the thing
13 days ago.
13.
Yes.
Well, there you go. You see?
13 days ago.
So they tell you, we can invite you. Here are the guidelines. We want you to be clear. We want your sentences to pack a punch. You have about 18 minutes, and there is absolutely no guarantee that you will be published.
Yes.
If at TEDx standard, they're like, maybe you will not get published.
Yes.
I am in my bed in my DM. I see one of my Insta fam say, yo, Terry, say 4 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. And someone just go browsing on YouTube. And look here. I see him screenshot. He sends the link and he said, your TEDx talk is now
published.
Available.
Yes.
It is published. And I think that was a moment, just like when I got the email, the invitation.
Yes.
That was the moment where you kind of said, this is real.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's no longer just for the persons who were in the room at the university.
It's for the world.
But now it's their 33.7 million subscribers.
Yes.
And now your message, your vision, your voice, your platform goes to all the corners of the world. And
amazing.
I was moved. I was humbled. I had to step back for a while and just marinate, as you said. I just had to soak it all in.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, we did this.
How did it feel to have your daughter in the audience listen to you?
I think it was important. So she didn't even know she was coming. When I first announced it to her that I was going to be invited, the first thing she said before, she said, congratulations. Up to now, the little girl don't tell me congratulations, Wait, watch me and her. She said, so are you taking me?
Yes.
And so I was like, excuse me. And she said, well, and it's on actually on YouTube, the video where she says, well, let's be real.
Yes.
If you never have me, and this was the argument,
Yes.
if you never have me,
You
and
wouldn't did it.
and I wasn't your daughter, then technically you wouldn't be able to have this conversation about kids.
Yeah.
Well, the people, yo, she whopped me.
Yeah.
That's why I picked for
She
done.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, googly. Them time they say, all right, my daughter. No said no.
So,
no.
listen, so
say less.
everybody come under and say, Terry, she yam your food. Terry, she have a point. Terry. So I didn't say anything. Bought her ticket. We drive to the airport. She's crying in the car. Boy, she wish she could come. And I tell her, boy, baby girl, you know, I'd love to stay and do this with you. But if you're crying any longer, we're going to miss our flight. So you need to take your bag out to the car. So you see, she's crying, and mid crying, she goes, huh? What? And I'm like, you're coming. So she got surprised at the airport.
Nice.
With her trip.
Nice. Good mother. Good mother. Good mother. Good baby. Good mother. Good mother. I don't tell you about a TEDx part too, but I ask you. I want them want TEDx late bloomer mother. But me will have something to say. Me that girl attack. But I want to talk about all age pregnancy. But what talk about late people? You understand? Yeah. You understand? Who never thought it possible. And when Terry talked about her father, you know, yes, the good mother them. Nice.
Oh, gosh.
So
Yeah,
when
man.
you got to London.
So we got to London.
Yes.
And we get to the hotel, yeah?
Yeah.
And she's taking it all in.
Yeah.
And funny enough, we were there because we had to quarantine and do everything. And that just kind of goes to show you that the mommyhood doesn't stop.
Yes.
Because even while we're there quarantining, I carry on with all her books.
Yeah.
She never missed classes. Even though our time difference was, our time zone was crazy, she was attending all her classes in her uniform. So my community was actually seeing me still preparing for my TEDx delivery.
Yes.
But still being
Mommy,
a mom.
yeah,
You have to do
yeah,
it.
doing the mommy duties.
And I give God thanks that even in the pandemic and online, she was able to do classes and do school, but still be across the world.
Right.
And so we were able to do TEDx. She was a superstar. They actually acknowledged her presence while we were there. And so for me, it's amazing because she gets to see me as an event host a lot.
Yes.
She sees me do it virtually. She sees me do it in person. And she sees me shine the light on clients and people and speakers.
Yes.
And I do a great job at that. But I think it was the first time she was able to see me stand
Yes.
in who I am,
Yes.
not shining a spotlight on anybody
But the
else.
spotlight was on
The spotlight
you.
was on me on the iconic red carpet. And
How
I
did
think-
you feel when the light was shining on you
Let me
and you were
tell
on that stage? Were you nervous at all?
Let me tell you something. I think leading up to it, I was fine. You get to the auditorium, you're fine. They mic you, you're fine. You see when they called my name,
Yes.
and we walk from under the stage, so you actually rise up to the platform. It was actually going up the stairs now, and you are now walking. You see the big red carpet,
Yes.
and you place yourself there. And I saw all the eyes on me, and I was the very first speaker. I literally was just like, why do I have to be the first speaker?
Yes.
But I was the very first speaker, and I understood that.
You did an
set.
amazing job.
Thank
You set the tone and the template. It was just so engaging. You were so articulate, so intelligent. So you did rehearse your speech. Oh, go girl.
Let me tell you something. So the kind of speak, and this is the most challenging thing. So it's natural that people hear you as a speaker and they go, well, this shouldn't be hard for Miss Kitty. This shouldn't be hard for Terri-Karelle because they're speakers.
Yeah.
But then when you meet the TEDx team and they tell you, listen, you have to write your draft and you have to let us see your draft.
Yes.
And you have to edit your draft.
Yes, and
I
I'm
am
gonna
I am
approve
not
it.
a script. I am not a script. I do everything from my head.
Yes, we freestyle.
That's what I know. And so now I had to discipline myself
Yes.
to sit down and to write out my thoughts, which is something I don't ever do. And that's why I tell people, no matter where you are, no matter how excellent you are, no matter how great you are, there is always room
Yes, for
you
growth
to
and
learn
improvement.
and
Yes.
improve and grow.
Yes.
And so I had to write my draft, and I wrote everything that I wanted to talk about on my heart. But then I know, said Terry, at 18 minutes, you have, and
Yes.
they really want you to do it in 15 minutes.
Yes.
And that whole process of editing, and
Yes.
drilling down, moving up, arranging. How do you get
That
people?
come like when me have to write my valedictorian speech. You know, one of them people here, man, me go home, you know. Me, hey, sir, remember, say, he's a freestyler. We just talk, you know.
Correct.
Yeah,
You kind of wonder if you bite more than you can chew.
Girl,
It was hard for
Terry,
me.
all the shoes I'm plan for wear, me never want to wear it, you know. Because when I see the heel, I see what Alex, me said, no, next thing me go drop on me nervous. Me, I didn't ever go roll like it's a style. I just wear a little lower heel, yeah. Me, my love. When I go up there, I'm look and see the people that in the tent. You mean the tent a biggie? I saw it big. I saw much people.
That's when
so,
you notice.
Listen,
Yeah.
so when I saw you and you looked marvelous.
Thank
you looked
you.
marvelous, so resplendent, so beautiful,
Thank you.
effervescent.
Thanks.
Me say, hold them, Terry. Mr. Me, I must be black. Me, I watch last night. La 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 la. Bust it up.
Yeah, man. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I tell that to people all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes people see us and they may see the finished product and they think it's about you. And I keep on saying that your platform is actually bigger than you. It's for others.
Yeah.
And so what really felt good and it carried me back to Miss Jamaica World, or Miss World, I should say, is when I looked at the YouTube video and I see when they go really wide.
Yes.
And you see my Jamaican flag.
Yes.
Like, I've seen so many TEDx talks and so many TED talks, and I don't recall really seeing speakers' flags. Like, I just
Yes.
don't. I see the topic, their name, and seeing the flag again for me
Yeah.
is just, you may not have known that you were ever going to be here, and there might have been little adversities and little things that you just kind of shake off, but you know, everything that you have done to this point has led you to this point.
Yeah.
And it is bigger than you, because when people see you, they may not remember your name, but they will say the speaker from Jamaica.
Yes.
And that's why we're all ambassadors
Yes.
wherever we go, and we
Yes.
have to be cognizant of
Well,
that.
you are definitely our Jamaican girl, and we're so
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
Mama.
Where can we watch the TEDx talk? Untapped Conversation with Kids.
Kids, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to YouTube and you type it in, Untapped Conversation with Kids, or if you even type in Terri-Karelle right now,
Yes.
I think the algorithm is literally saying, you come from Jamaica, you
Yes.
need to watch this, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
And it's 16 minutes, but really
Yeah.
what it was me just encouraging and even challenging us to think about how we connect with our children.
Yeah.
It can no longer be, our parenting style can no longer be, go take up your book, now ask me nothing. You literally have to create space for your kids to ask you questions, because if you do not provide them with the answers,
Yes.
they're going to get the answers from other people and other spaces that may not necessarily be the healthy ones.
Yeah.
And so I hope that when persons watch it, the feedback has been absolutely great. Like I go positively overwhelming, but hopefully it will be something that challenges us to be more intentional when we speak with our kids.
Absolutely amazing. A round of applause for Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid,
Thank you,
the
Mama.
first lady from Jamaica to be on TEDx, baby. And you can follow her on Instagram at
Terri-Karelle.
Very well.
Very
Thank you
easy.
so much, Terry. Well,
Thank you for having
You're most
me.
welcome, and thank you for holding it down for me.
No,
I
man,
sincerely
anytime,
appreciate
anytime.
you.
And let me tell you, I just want to say big up, respect. You always use your platform to just help people to feel better and to do better. And if nobody has told you recently, just keep going. We pray for abundance. We pray for prosperity. We pray that anywhere you are planted, my girl, you will bloom, that you will bear fruit that will not just serve you, but many other persons, generations to come.
Thank you, my darling. I accept that. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
Love you too, Mama.
I gotta go. And I'm sure. Why confuse her for coming now? You see how him can't go lie down. Him no want a holiday. Him no want go board. I'm little short and I love him little knee. And them some of them. Damian, you can't tell the boss to take off leave. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go now. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. I love you. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Dr. Terri-Karelle. Love you all. Confused is up next. Catch you tomorrow, guys, for another edition of Miss Kitty
Bye, Calico.
Live. Bye.